Alright. Okie dokie. Let's see what we can do with this guy. We can exchange this guy for... Let's go with the raptor, just because the raptor sounds so dumb. But it's gotta be better than the wolf on its own. Ignite lightning. Why not? What about this then? This one has more damage, this one has more resistance and more health. Let's go with the resistance and more health. For the moment. So we need fire rest now. But we need necrotic too. We need a bunch of things. We're not really overcapped either. We shouldn't worry about that because we lose every single map that we go, we lose one resistance. Raptor, oh my god, it's so retarded. Oh, live in chaos. Glyphs are good. Rampage. Sends your raptor into a rampage. 40% increased attack speed, cast speed, movement speed, damage, and size for 5 seconds. Costs shitloads of mana and cooldown forever. I'm looking for an axe. In fact, we should make a... Let's make a... Food filter. Yeah, I know. Beastmaster called... Well, let's call it Ella. Bluish. Is there a dog? None of these look like a dog. I'm gonna pick the boots. Add rule. Emphasize. Add condition. Affix. Affixes. Attributes. We want strength, vitality, attunement, melee. We don't want specific melee. We don't want spell. We want damage type, elemental damage. Yeah, we can have elemental penetration too. Maybe. No, there's no elemental penetration. Unfortunate. So the only thing we can really go with then, again, is critical strike checks. Health. Yep, go with all of the health. Resistance and armor. We want armor. All resistance. Increased armor. Elemental res. I don't know about endurance. Dodge. Health recovery. Cooldown reduction. Yeah. Sure, why not? Movement speed should be maximum. Regardless of build, movement speed should be there. To be perfectly honest. Minion. Minion damage. Minion health, minion regen. I mean, is there any reason to not have minion melee damage? It's not gonna do physical damage, that's the thing. Ailments, chance to chill. I don't really care for these. Rimalist, spell damage with Tempest Strike. Spell damage for totems. Minion critical strike multiplier. I don't know about those. Maybe we'll change those later. Minion melee damage leeches health. This one could potentially be like super strong. But again, let's deal with that later. I don't know about these. Aspect of the lynx, boar, shark, viper. Increased armor and minion armor. Shared cold damage. Shared lightning damage. Level of swipe. Sabertooth. But it's not Maelstrom. Is that what it's called? Yeah, okay, it is Maelstrom. Warcry, Maelstrom, and Leap. Oh, Max, how's it going? Primalist Idol. I don't really care about this, because I just picked up all the idols at the moment. With at least one of these, for now. Yeah. That's our new loot filter. That guy can do whatever he wants. Thank you. Okay, what did I want here now? We want this. We want a little bit of each. For both me and our pet. We have to go there and there. Because I don't want it to keep dying. It needs good survivability. Otherwise, it's just gonna be annoying. Like, it needs to be able to stand in pretty much anything. Bosses, AoEs, and shit like that. Either that or die to boss AoEs, but it's easy to get them up again. Easier than baseline. Now it's showing us everything though. I don't really want to stack brick right now. Maybe I do. Battle axe, 100. We need a two-handed axe. What about add rule, add condition, item type, two-handed weapons, two-handed axes, subtypes. Yeah, for now, let's just show. Let's just show axis emphasized. That's a crit necklace. I have no idea. Sorry, I'm not an expert at this game. And I don't know if there are any items that increase your limit as well. But you should be able to count it normally, and by just checking the tree and the wolf node, I guess. Or the skills. The wolf skill. That's still too low level, isn't it? Cultist chopper. Level 14. Don't kill me, don't kill me. Oh. I really don't like these guys. Ah! Oh, lag. tag with the nasty enemies. This is a pretty good map. There's tons of enemies here, to be honest. But I don't know if it's all just trash. Air helmet. That might actually be like equipable with this guy. This gives 32 void rest, but it's still less resistance than that. 10 health regen though. Like, this helmet is actually really good. 10 health regen is really sick. Here, increased cold damage. Bearded axe. Now we're talking. That's a legit. Hello, Todd. How are you liking or not liking last Epoch? Well, I've been playing it quite a bit. And it's a mixed bag. If I'm gonna be honest, it's a mixed bag. Though I do think it is, or has potential to be, the best ARPG on the market. It's still a very mixed bag, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Or... that's not the right word. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone. Because it depends on why you like ARPGs, right? Like, for someone who just likes playing Diablo 2 over and over again because they think it just has like a good vibe or whatever, they won't like this game. Because it doesn't have a good vibe. The story is not great. The art is just... it's alright. Like, it's not bad, but it's not good. It doesn't have an edge, really, when it comes to that, design-wise, art-wise. But it is completely acceptable the way it looks. But... and the story is just not good. Like, let's be honest. But I don't think any ARPG actually has a good story, so... like, Diablo games have cool lore. But I still think that the story is dog shit. But if you like getting into the lore in Diablo, I think it has really strong lore. But the actual game is pretty good. Like, it has pretty good build depth and stuff, so that's kind of why I play it. So, again, like, it depends on what you're really looking for. For me, it's about being able to make builds, like play out class fantasies and stuff like that. But I also do like grinding. But mainly it's about being able to make builds and class fantasies and stuff. So I don't think any other ARPG holds a candle to this game when it comes to build diversity, really. Like, people are gonna say PoE instantly, but it doesn't. It's like not even. Not a chance. Because all the classes have so many different specs, and they have so many different abilities. It's still not a lot. Like, let's be real. But it's still in beta. So for a beta, this is completely acceptable. I don't really like. I like stories, and I like RPGs. But I think, to be honest, anyone who's looking for stories and playing video games are looking in the completely wrong medium. I don't think games have good stories, really. Like, they can have acceptable stories, but I don't think they have good stories. And there's a very large difference between a good story and, like, cool lore as well. But it's kind of like people like gameplay just because it looked cool and felt cool, but it doesn't have any actual mechanics, so as long as you had a good experience, then I guess the story was fine. Now the gameplay is still a little bit mediocre. I think the strength lies in build depth, because you can do so many different things. Like, even with the same skill, like if you want to play Maelstrom, the way I'm using Maelstrom is as a cooldown ability. I get this little stack here that goes up to 3, and then when I press it, it gets cast 4 times. So I don't have to press it all the time, and I can press it and then I get like a big chunk that does damage for a while. And if you want, you can just play this ability as your main ability. You can, or you can not press it at all. Like here you can spec it so that it casts automatically when you kill enemies. You can go in here and you can make Warcry cast it automatically as well. And there are other abilities that also like do things with Maelstrom. You can make Maelstrom cast abilities when it ends. You can have 1 Maelstrom stack. You can reduce the duration on it so that you like cast the spells that it casts when it ends, and that's just 1 ability, and that's already like 5, 6, 7, 8 different playstyles or ways to approach this skill in just 1 skill. And then you can try to combine that however you want, which is what's nice about it. And like here as well, you can have, maybe you want to be a Beastmaster. You can choose, do you want to have 1 pet, or do you want to have 5 pets out all at the same time? Do you want to support them with spells? Do you want to buff them? Do you want to Warcry buff your pets? Do you want to just have your pets there to buff you? Do you want, you know, do you want to make your pets have abilities? Because they do. And then they become like cooldown buttons that do damage. So I'm really interested in seeing how this game pans out in the future, because they do have which isn't entirely necessarily a positive thing for me, but they do have hardcore PoE players on the team. What's his, I don't know, his name is Finnish, it's like Karvaroska or something like that. I used to watch his streams sometimes. Who's like really good at in-depth theory crafting and crafting and stuff like that for Path of Exile. So they do have like really good players that are working with them, which is important, because if you're making a game and you want it to have deep mechanics, if you don't know how things work properly, then you can't make that. Not really. Because it takes knowing how things work on a detailed level, and how things affect, like how the small details affect things, to be able to really design a good system. Because that's where it makes, well, what makes or breaks it. And often it breaks it. So often it breaks it. I'm not sure I can think of an example right now. But there are so often that you have some kind of idea and it just all gets ruined by some other idea. Well, I can make some small examples from this game, that this game also does that. For example, if you want to play an optimal build, how can you justify picking a druid, for example, if you don't want to play a shape-shifting build? Here, it has entangling roots. Entangling roots is just like a poison spell, right? So what if you want to play entangling roots as like a druid, but you don't want to shapeshift? There's nothing in the tree that like removes your shapeshifting ability or anything like that and gives you something else instead. So here you have passive bonuses. When leaving a transformed state, you gain 70% damage reduction for 2 seconds. So you lose that whole thing if you're not shapeshifting, but you still gain 20% increased health and mana. This isn't really that big of a deal, to be honest. But for example, if you want to play a shaman, passive bonuses here is -5 totem mana cost, 50% elemental res while you control a totem. So those are a lot bigger, right? But you also gain +10 attunement, which works for any build. Now, I will say that the totem costs, or the totem bonuses here, are dog shit. Like the mana totem cost, a totem mana cost is like alright. But this, you can't use this. This is completely unusable. This line doesn't exist. More or less. Because you always need to be capped. Anyway, you have to have max resistances. So this doesn't do anything. Which is kind of weird. How much leech do we want? Let's get a couple of leech nodes. Man, maybe we'll max out the leech node. That way I don't need to get leech on swipe. And my pet will leech very well. Elemental resistance. We need to be level 35 for the next skill. We need to be level 35 to be able to specialize a pet. And we need to be Primalist or Beastmaster level 35 to get the Sabertooth. That's because this is not the in-game music. I don't know if the music is too loud. It's really hard to say. Should be fine. I'm just playing other MMO soundtracks. Because the music in this game, it's not bad, but it's also not good. Like, ARPGs have a tendency to not have upbeat combat music for the game. So it's like you're just falling asleep. So I just have to play some other music. Like Diablo also has good music, but it has the same problem. It's just make you snooze. I honestly don't even know what the Path of Exile soundtrack sounds like. I don't think I've ever listened to it. Maybe I should go back and fix my inventory. I kind of want to equip this. Whatever. I can't be arsed to fuck around with my resistances. Yeah, but that's exactly what this soundtrack is like as well. Like, it's just... What do we want here? I want elemental damage, but that's too rare at this point. We can't get that. But we can get melee, like melee cold damage or something. I have 1 melee cold damage. One melee damage, 1 physical damage.
Yes. Be well.
Elemental resistance. Increased elemental damage. Increased elemental damage. Increased elemental damage. yeah, the entire soundtrack just sounds like this. And it's like, it's not bad or anything, it's just super boring. So you just don't want to play the game like this. Because I'm running around murdering droves and tons of monsters. I just want there to be some drive behind the music. Does elemental damage not exist here? Oh, don't tell me you can't have that. I don't know if you can or not. Alright, let's... Since I can't do anything with it anyway, let's use a rune of discovery. Melee, physical damage, and crit. I think we can roll with that. Maybe we can roll with that. It might be dog shit. It's kind of shit, but it does make Maelstrom better. And it makes my pet stronger. Yeah, let's go with that. It also makes Warcry stronger. They're relying on the multiplayer to fill the void. The void of what? I'm not sure what we were talking about. Grit Amulet. I don't know, maybe. The ambient, no. It's just the way of approaching it. Because I think to some degree, people who make games like these, they kind of want their games to be like Diablo 1, in a way. Like, they want it to be this, like, yeah, we got this super, like, ambience heavy, freaking super suspenseful game where you're like walking around in caves and shit. But in reality, they just have this game where you're just slaughtering hordes of monsters. So whatever like artistic intention they had for the soundtrack is just not there. I do think this axe is better. I feel like we're doing more damage. Now, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind that game. Like, when I look at Diablo 4, that looks a bit more like that, and I do like that. But Diablo 4 is not exactly what I'm looking for either. Not for $70. And from Blizzard. Melee minion damage. Minion damage. Now see, we have to get melee minion damage as well. Critical strike chance, minion damage. It's gonna be pretty hard to gear this guy, because we're gonna need to have good secondary rolls and good main rolls at the same time. Well, I mean, it depends. I'm not talking about ambient noise and stuff. Like, that stuff is fine. And I do think it makes the world a little bit more lively, but what I'm talking about is just the soundtrack not fitting what you're doing in the game. Like, if I'm fighting something, I want a combat track. That's what I'm saying. And for me, in an MMO, that's important. Final Fantasy XIV literally killed playing World of Warcraft for me, purely because they had a combat track. I tried going back to WoW after that, and it was not possible. Especially since the World of Warcraft soundtrack is exactly like this soundtrack. It's just boring as absolute hell. And this track is not part of this sound. This is from another game. I was just playing it in Winamp. What's the music like here? Let's check the boss fight. What's the music gonna be at the boss? Like, this is less lively than being in a random town in RuneScape. Oh shit, I didn't think that would hit that hard. And you can barely even hear the track. Let's see, can we get some... Do I have any lightning rests here? No. We have no elemental rests. Well, I'm a little bit scared. Aspect of the boar. Aspect of the shark. I don't want any aspects. I want health. It's like there's not even a code. There's not even a boss theme. It's still the same song. Or
The immortal empire shows no mercy.
boss theme? No, like I can't even tell that there is music playing.
Get off my ship, mortal.
Don't blast me.
Who defied the emperor is dead.
And this build is starting to ramp. Alright, switching music back on. It reminds me of walking around in like caves or something. Like that's it. It's just not interesting. It's not an action track, and that's bad.
Hurry, I'm breaking loose. I'll take that as a yes. Get to the railing. Don't stop saying scene opportunities yet. I'll slow you down.
Like, this track is probably too much though, but that's because this is for another anime game. Doesn't really fit the game either, but I still prefer this. Swipe level up. Now what? It's going to full heal my pet every single swipe, I guess. And it's going to use its ability. Is it gonna do that for free? That's insane. So we have perma frenzied raptor now? Damn, that's pretty crazy, dude. Yeah, he's just perma frenzied. Okay, I can dig that. I wonder what the Sabertooth does. I hope he has a cool ability. And that's pretty cool. Yeah, something like that should have been kind of what was playing, because that was the last stretch of that level as well before the boss. In our game, we're doing ramping tracks, and I think that's absolutely something they could do. Like make a track and ramp it up by adding more elements to it, like more instruments and stuff, to make it more and more actiony. Either like the more you're fighting, or you know, something like that, depending on what you're fighting. Ramp it up even more on a boss. That's what we're trying to do, and Robert is pretty enthusiastic about it as well. He's our musician. We already tried it a little bit, and it's pretty nice. It's kind of what they do in Final Fantasy as well, or Final Fantasy 14 specifically. I don't want to pick up items just for trying to extract things. We don't have the resources for that. Increased elemental damage is important. That's pretty good. Here we still want more cold damage. Renato is a good musician. He is. I was actually really surprised because I am hard to please. I think everybody knows that. But I was really positively surprised when I heard his music. Oh. Shimmering. Yeah, we want shimmering. Melee crit chance. Melee, nah. More health. Summon Scorpion. What does this Scorpion do then? Doesn't say what its ability is. Let's try the Scorpion. I want a pet that like has an ability. Venom Nova releases a burst of venom that inflicts all enemies around the venom with 3 stacks of poison. I want to see how that feels like with swipe. If it just keeps spamming it or what. Maybe it has a cooldown. Because it does say 10-second cooldown, so it might not work that well with swipe. Oh, it doesn't have a cooldown. What the shit? It's insane. Alright, let's just hope that the Sabertooth has insane abilities. I don't know what it does. Is Frenzy like the Raptor? Yeah, the Raptor's ability was to go into a 4-second Frenzy that lasted for... Yeah, it lasted for 4 seconds. It gave it 40% more damage, attack speed, movement speed, health, everything. So he was just perma-big. But this guy does sort of Poison Nova, which is super ugly, but might still be nice. And if you had multiple pets, they would all use their abilities every single time you swiped, I guess. Okay, we don't have full fire res. Woo! Let's not get cheeky. I am very glad we did not die there. I would have been kind of annoyed. I want to get to the end game and play that a little bit without dying. I keep dying there. Lightning cast each second. I want this to cast at 4. Because one press stacks up 4 Maelstrom. So that way we get lightning bolts instantly. But at the same time, it's kind of wasted points. Because I usually have more stacks than that. Like, just keeping 8 stacks up is really easy. Maybe I should undo that point. Whatever. Yeah, let's undo that. That was kind of shit. But having it strike more targets sounds nice. Ice Wolf Garb. What is this from? Lineage. I kind of want to try Lineage again. I've done it before, and I know that it's dog shit. Like, it's completely unplayable, but I still want to kind of play it again. Please, I don't want to die. This boss is actually badly designed because you can't see what the fuck he's doing. Or rather, it's this level that's badly designed. The ground is so bright that you can't see effects of enemies. Generally bad. Generally not a good thing. Increased melee damage, bonus melee fire damage. This one could be good. That's true, but it's not that bad here. The main issue here is just not being able to see stuff on the ground. That's a general ARPG issue though, because it often becomes so cluttered with enemies that you can't see what's on the ground. PoE has a huge issue with that. It's like one of the main things people have complained about in the game, and they never learn. Crit multiply. Nah, we can't do crit multiplier on weapons. But if we're gonna do crit on weapon, and yeah, we will have to see what that we can have. Because if I can't have elemental damage on weapon, well, I would be very, very surprised if you can't actually have that. I would be extremely surprised. Let's try it. We should be able to get some here. Elemental damage. Elemental damage. Elemental damage. Elemental resistance. Yeah, if we put that there. No! You can't have elemental damage on an axe? That pisses me off. See, these are the details I'm talking about. If this weapon can't have elemental damage, then I can't scale my build. The only way I would be able to scale my build then is by going crit and crit damage on the weapon. Because I need a generic damage type to scale my damage. Crit, I think double crit might actually be viable though. We'll see. So that might still save it, but it's still kind of shit. Because it's not enough that the abilities have like smart, you know, nodes and functionalities and stuff. The rest of the game has to work with it as well. Like if you can't mix and match spells with melee abilities, for example, like now you have completely divided the game into spell and melee archetypes. So you've effectively split the build variety in the game in half, straight up. This game is like, it's okay at doing it. It's a lot better than other games. Like PoE, you can't do it at all. It's like completely impossible. But here, to some extent, you can. Because you can use generic damage types that roll lower values. Like you can have increased elemental damage. Or you can have increased melee damage. Or you can have increased... Well, let's say you can have increased fire damage, specifically. But elemental damage also scales fire, but it has a lower total value. And that's fine. I think that's good. But then spells want flat damage as well. Flat damage is the best thing you can get on weapons or for spells. And for that, you can't get that on anything other than staves and scepters and shit. So it might still be kind of viable, but I'm not so sure. And because of that, I'm not sure how viable it is to play like a wizard with melee and spell abilities. In Diablo 3, like the elemental stuff in Diablo 3 completely ruined the game for me. It was so awful. Because you could only play a certain element. Like that's how you had to pick your build. Like, okay, I'm going to play a fire barbarian, or I'm going to play a lightning barbarian, physical barbarian, ice barbarian. Those were the choices. Because you had your normal damage stats and everything, but then certain items could also roll like 20% increased cold damage. And because that stat existed, you had to play only one element. Because then you could stack your damage up to double damage or more, purely with that. So it's like, I just have to pick cold skills now, because I can stack it up to double damage. Okay, great. So, like, that just deleted like 90% of the combinations in the game, just because that existed. And PoE works the exact same way, and that's why PoE's passive tree is dog shit. But also their items are crap. So unless you like, if you're the kind of guy who's like, no, you shouldn't be able to use spells with a sword or whatever, you have to play full melee, then sure, maybe it's good. But for anyone else who wants to maybe combine things and do whatever the hell they want, make cool characters, it just sucks. Because you can't.
Three. And she told me it'd take the courage of removing the gas.
See, what I like about PoE mainly is that it's borderline classless. Like, it's not entirely at all, really. But it's still borderline classless. Like, if you're playing a sorceress in Diablo 2, you are hard locked into playing the sorceress skill trees. You cannot do anything else. But in PoE, if you want to, you can pick a sorceress or a witch, and you can play melee skills and stuff like that. If you can find a clever way to do it, because she starts at a different place, which makes it hard. But it is still doable to some degree. I've tried many times and it's absolute dog shit, but... Hello, Keb. This coal? This coal is a diamond in the rough. You would know that if you knew anything about coal. It's still coal? Yeah, well. What's it to you? Don't kill me! I had like 1 health earlier. We're so close to dying all the time. Spell damage if you have a totem. Chance to summon a totem. Fuck off! Oh, and ooh, a halberd counts as melee damage. Or as an axe, rather. It's kind of nice. We still can't equip these at all. Totem damage? If you want to use magic, you need to go on a special long quest and accept massive loss of permanent health and some negative traits. What game is that? Is it Mabinogi? No, that's Korean. And name an MMO that isn't Korean. 'Cause 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 'C Elemental resistance. I want that. Let's YOLO roll this void damage into fire damage. I don't think so, dude. Hello, Mordenstein. Is RuneScape Canadian? No, that's pretty crap. Pick that up. Outward. Oh, wait. I thought it was an MMO, that's why I was like, Canadian MMOs? Isn't that just like that one game where you're just playing... It's like a really shitty survival game. Well, by my standards. I couldn't play it because the controls were so sloppy. Alright, so outward is bad. Alright. Elemental res. Get rid of some crap here. Yeah, most things are fun with friends. That is true. Let's nuke that. Buy a new stash tab. Call it idols. What's an idol icon? Is that an idol? This shit in there. Now this thing is trash. Increased elemental damage. Critical strike. Critical strike. How was the Lotro OST? I don't know. I've only been listening to it a little bit. It's probably gonna be like World of Warcraft or something. Snooze fest. I need to get more physical resistance so I can more easily get rid of some items. Yeah, it's amazing because it's just like random techno music. How goes the build? It's actually going pretty decently. I'm kind of surprised how strong Maelstrom is, because I saw people whining and complaining about it, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be shit, but it's actually really good. Okay, so now we can get rid of that, but we need necrotic resistance. Now we get slightly more of everything, and we are less overcapped on Fizz. We need to swap out the boots. But we might still be able to get more elemental there. I just need more breaky runes. Breaky runes. Oh, did the boss respawn? Let's get killed by the boss. I say kind of good, but it still feels like you're killing things in slow motion sometimes. But we're actually doing pretty good damage on the bosses. Summon storm crows, sage antler. Yep, elemental res. Gold. Just trying to play a rugged barbarian from the north with his saber-toothed tiger that we haven't unlocked yet. I find the barbarian archetype missing from this game. I think they did it on purpose to not just be barbarian, you know, all over again. You can still do it, but without a pet, it's kind of weird. You can still play without a pet, but it's kind of weird. You barely have enough abilities to go around for that. Like, if you don't want pets and you don't want totems, you have to use spells, pretty much. Well, maybe not. You can play swipe. You can play upheaval. That's what you can play. Fury Leap, Warcry, swipe, upheaval. And then it's still hard. You need to get... Oh, well, Serpent Strike requires a spear. You can make Maelstrom physical, but it's still, like, the thematics of it is kind of weird. You can use a Hero's Blessing, which is a buff. So... But yeah, overall, kind of hard. to play it like a pure barbarian type archetype. This guy is more like a druid from Diablo 2. Oh yeah, we've unlocked that. What's the bear's ability? Maybe the bear is cool. Roar. Taunting enemies and healing it for 50 health. But the raptor is also kind of boring. It just goes into a frenzy. Now, here they can gain more abilities. On a 10-second cooldown. But is that like an active ability, or do they automatically use that on their own? I would assume they use it on their own. But are they gonna use that as well when I swipe? Because that would be absolutely bonkers. And see, here you can make the abilities stronger. Rampage lasts longer. But the Scorpion, you can do a lot with the Scorpion. You can turn it into like a Lightning Scorpion and give it a Shock Nova. Or you can give it other things. What about the Wolf? The Wolf has a chance to replace their melee attack with Ice Bite. It doesn't say anything about getting new abilities. Because, well, what about this Sabertooth? It doesn't say what it gets. Like, it doesn't say what its ability is, so I don't know. Your Sabertooth becomes an Ice Tiger, converting 100% of its base melee physical damage to cold. Consequently, this damage scales with increases to cold damage, but not with increases to physical damage. The Ice Tiger's melee attacks have a freeze rate equal to twice their base damage. The Ice Tiger's melee attacks physical tags are swapped to cold. Your Sabertooth retaliates with Ice Vortex when it takes 70 or more damage. Your Sabertooth gains the ability to cast Frost Nova, a cold spell that hits all nearby enemies, has a freeze rate of 30. But that's not the ability that I get. I press this button. So it doesn't really say anything about that ability at all. Which is a little bit sad, but at the same time, whatever. It is a cool putke. Let's use the Scorpion and go get the lightning ability. Here it becomes a cold thing, frost thorns. Just getting all these abilities seems kind of fun. Let's go up here and get that. That's another ability, just for the heck of it. We're gonna replace him soon enough anyway. Scorpion. Minion attack speed, cast speed, move speed, revive speed. Aspect of the bow reduces damage taken by 15%. Maybe we should get this anyway. Reduce damage taken by 15% is pretty good. But for that, I need this to last for a certain amount of time. Let's do this and not take the damage nodes. Let's just take these defensive nodes. And then we also take this. When hit by a melee attack. Okay, so this is when I get hit. And then here I can get it so it triggers when I hit someone. From what I've gathered, what you want to focus on in these trees is defensive stuff. And I guess it's even more so for hardcore.
A word of advice. Don't ask her about the diamond matrons. You'll regret it.
Not gonna lie, Lord of the Rings soundtrack, maybe there are good songs in there, but it's also a little bit snore. What is this? Increased mana, increased minion melee attack speed. Get me some of those. So, we can try something here. This weapon has crit strike multiplier, and it also has minion damage. And it has a free slot here. So what if we put critical strike chance here too? How strong is that? It's shit. All right. So let's see here. My current critical strike chance, 11%. This increases it. Oh, yeah, okay. Fair enough. This is only melee critical strike chance. This is global critical strike chance. So this affects spells and stuff as well. While this is more melee chance, because this is plus 7% units, while this is double critical strike chance. So this could potentially be a lot stronger, I guess. And that's also what we want. We want that. We don't want the melee one that I just put on there like a moron. Now, can we get more elemental resistance? A little bit. Unfortunately, it broke. And we still need fire. Too low level. Again, we need new boots. Increased armor. Elemental rest boots. Super low. Okay, so what do we need? We need fire and we need lightning. But honestly, we probably need lightning the most. Ah, dude. His fire is almost capped. Let's just go with that. We have pretty decent resistances with that. But my health regen went to shit.
Can I help you? Stay safe, traveler.
Yes?
Now... Oh, hello there. What do we want here now then? This isn't maxed out. What was I going... Why did I open this? I opened this for some reason. Oh yeah, I was going to check here. Penetration. Increased damage. What about the druid? Endurance and armor. Minion armor. Health and mana. Okay, I guess. But see here, like, you might not even need to have increased melee damage on your weapon, because you can get stuff like that from the tree, and then it might be better to just have crit on your weapon instead. Or the other way around, maybe you get a bunch of crit here, and then you might be better off having flat damage on your weapon. It like depends on what you can get from where. That's kind of how the PoE tree works too, like you might be able to get one thing from the tree in PoE, but that might not be enough to cover your ass on like all fronts. So if you get a bunch of chaos resistance on the tree, now you might be low on elemental resistance or something. If you don't get chaos res on the tree, then you have to get chaos res on your items. Like, that's just how things work. What you have to prioritize are, or what you have to consider are like how hard is it to get this on items versus how easy is it to just take it on the tree. Alright, so here now. More lightning targets, I guess. I can't really tell when the lightning hits at the moment. But most enemies die instantly anyway. There it is. Is it good? I don't know. Maybe it is. Yeah, this is the right way. This place is a little bit of a labyrinth. But the maps are always the same. Which I honestly don't really care. Like, for some people, that's like, wow, the maps are always the same, I won't play this. But I feel like it's a bit of a meme. Like, do I care? Like, to some degree, yeah. It's nice that the maps are different. But at the same time, I'm not really looking for anything in here, right? Like, it's not... I'm just, like, looking for the exit. So do I really care? Is it more interesting to find the exit and nothing else? If it's randomized every time? Or is it just more annoying? Like, I don't know. Uh-oh. Don't nuke your Reno me. Increased damage, that could be really bad. That is the real question. And the answer is no. Doing this story fucking sucks ass, regardless of how randomized it is or not. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate that this is the default ARPG setup. Like, Diablo 3 is unironically, design-wise, like the model for an ARPG, except that every single aspect of it just sucks ass, right? But it's doing everything in the right direction. How bad's the story? It's just bad. Like, it's not good, but it's not like I want to shoot myself in the head. It's just like this is just basic ass shit. Like, they just wrote something so that there's something there. Most of it is just copy-paste Path of Exile or Diablo memes, to be perfectly honest. I don't even really know what the story is. Like, I've done the story, but at the same time, the story doesn't end. So I don't really know what the story is. Because it's like... the world is ending, because the void is like destroying everything and just consuming everything. So then you find a shard of the... well, I don't know what it is. Is it called the last epoch? I'm not sure. But you find the shard of the thing. And the thing lets you travel in time. So you go back in time and through the times and whatever. And then you, like, kill the immortal emperor, who is a skeleton. And I guess he's a bad guy or something. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know, dude. Yeah. Why is there a chest there? You can't go there. How far away are we? 21. We need 14 more levels. There are too many numbers. I can't tell how much damage the lightning is doing. There. It looks kind of shit. Yeah, it's only doing like 60. We'll see. Maybe it's not worth it, but maybe it's fine. But yeah, I wasn't finished. When you finish the game, you kill the last boss, which isn't really the last boss. It's just some bitch, snake bitch. So I'm not sure if it's just a placeholder ending. It might be meant to continue from there later. But that's where you go to the end game and you start doing those like maps. Because like the universe fragments and you're trying to like go through the fragments and piece things back together. I think that's the idea. Or time fragments. So then you go through that, and the more you fight there, you unlock new bosses. And I think those are meant to kind of be story bosses. And then Orobis, I guess, who is supposed to be the big void bad guy or whatever, might be a part of that. So I don't know, because I keep dying. Like the second I go to get there, I'm like, well, this is too easy, and then I go and I push to go to the next tier, and the boss just kills me. Happens every single time. At least we have good poison rest. This guy is gonna be easy, I think. But see, the reason I'm not like super sold on the gameplay is because while I do like that you get to have a couple of buttons, it still kind of tends to boil down to pressing 2 buttons instead of 1 button. I still think that's a vast improvement, but it's not like stellar. Because what this boils down to right now is I press swipe has a cooldown, then I press Maelstrom has a cooldown, then I press swipe. And then Warcry comes off cooldown, then I press Warcry, right? And it does more damage. So I think the game has too few buttons. Diablo 3 has 6 buttons, and there it's also a little bit, tight, because you want abilities to have situational functionality. So like in Diablo 3, you see a champion pack is coming towards you, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna stun them preemptively. Then I'm gonna use leap, because leap gives me armor, and then I'm gonna fight them for 3 more seconds. Then I'm gonna press ignore pain, which gives me 75% damage reduction. And then I'll fight around them a little bit, then my stun is back, then you stun them again, and then you leap again, and you fight them a little bit more. And now Ignore Pain has too much cooldown, so now you're vulnerable for a little time. And that's why I think Diablo 3 still has the nicest gameplay, ARPG-wise, except for Lost Ark. But Lost Ark could also take pointers from Diablo 3, because it's like classes are too specialized there. I wish they were a little bit more self-sustaining.
This is the answer. Quickly. Go to the center.
I still think MMOs are like the go-to thing you should look at for designing a game like this, but you can absolutely scale it down a lot. You don't have to have 35 buttons, but you could have like 8 buttons. I think 6 is still like an okay amount. However, do I really need to max this out? Maybe I do, because this will only be... The problem with Lost Ark is that you're not allowed to play the game. That's why Lost Ark sucks. You're not allowed to play the game. Because like they literally lock you out of everything that gives you anything that matters. And then the only gameplay that's left is sailing with your fucking dumbass ship. And like keeping track of timers, which is just awful. Let's go with this first. Get the thing that gives it to us when we hit enemies, and then we can make it stronger.
The Emperor, you're trying over there. Go. I want to. Hopefully, I will.
Because mainly, what's gonna kill you is a boss, right? So you want to have your damage reduction to be able to be up when the bosses might hit you. I am a little bit... like, we don't really have a defensive cooldown. I'm kind of wondering if I should put some defensive stuff on Warcry. Or if I can even. I don't really know what options we have for Warcry. It might be nice for Warcry to be a little bit of both. Like be an oh shit button and do some damage. We're actually really good at stunning. But like, if we look at Warcry, it's already level 12. And I still need to take more stuff here. Debilitating Shout will apply Frailty, reduces enemies' damage by 6, stacks up to 3. We really only get 1 stack. Here we can get health. One second invulnerable. That has potential, but 1 second is a very, very, very short amount of time. Haste. Bleed. Fear. Here you can give it a lot shorter cooldown. Then you can make it more of a damage ability, but I don't know if I really care. But like, if you do that, then you can use it a lot more for buffing. Or you can use it to keep Maelstrom up. But I don't really care for that. I'd rather it be a bit of a nuke. More AoE. But this is kind of... So the only thing we can really get is this. 1 second invulnerability. At the very least, what this will do is it will make the button be like... Because normally pressing any button is a self-stun, right? Like, it's just like playing Dark Souls. But the Warcry will... It will cover its own cast time by being invulnerable. Kind of. But it's already pretty fast, so I don't really think it matters. So now we want to go down here. However, what it is doing is it's freezing, but the freeze... Well, the freeze it's still good. Like, if there are a lot of champions and you press it, you'll still do... Like, you'll still get that defensive aspect of it. So I think it's still fine as our defensive cooldown. It is a big stun. But the freeze and stuns are too unpredictable on bosses. So it's like not a real defensive cooldown for that. But the defensive cooldown for bosses is actually leap. Like, that's the boss defensive cooldown. And this one is for monster packs. Those can kill you too. Sometimes. Crit multiplier. Elemental resistance. Totem elemental resistance. Wow. That is awful. And no luck. What about this one? No luck. We're almost fully capped. We're missing lightning. Oh, +1 tier. Oh. We're missing necrotic. Alright, well, I think this is good. If we could just get the last necrotic rest from these, that would be top tier. But right now I'm kind of playing it for the first time, because we were playing offline first, and then I switched to online, and now all my items are gone. And then we played my paladin build, and then it died, and it turned out that I was in the wrong mode, so then I didn't have my items from there either. Increased poison damage. Get that. Yeah, smash that. Smash that. And then we take a look at this thing again. Chaos Glyph, Poison, Melee Lightning Damage. Yeah, this is probably better, but I don't know. We haven't even scaled up the crit chance yet. The numbers are higher. Elemental rest and physical rest armor. And cold rest armor. I think that has potential. Yeah, bye-bye. Let's get rid of that. Let's use our new one. Oh, wee. Oh, the boss is back. I didn't really mean to go here, but... Sure. Let's kill the boss again. .32 forging potential. That could be kind of cool. Return to the Shining Cove. Alright, let's do that side quest first. critical strike chance. I do think I have way too little critical strike stuff. That might still be something we can try get a couple of shatterings in on. But at the same time, I don't have any shatterings, so just gonna kind of stack up in my inventory. Oh, this is the wrong way. I want movement speed. Movement speed is actually... it's not a vanity stat. It's actually one of the best defensive stats. So boots should pretty much... Unless you can get shitloads of movement speed somewhere else, boots should just have movement speed on them. Because it's a movement speed is it's a defensive stat. It's also a DPS increase. Because it makes it easier to move around in between monsters and stuff like that. It's a magic find. Basically the best stat. Because without movement speed, you're gonna get caught in bosses, AoEs, more, and then you get insta-killed. That's why you need it. And it just feels nice. I actually died on the priest paladin build because I didn't have enough movement speed. Because the red AoE became too hard to launch by just walking. So if she used it when I was in an animation, it was just over. Unless I pressed the block button properly, which I didn't. Well, I did press it, but it was too slow. Like... That's what I'm gonna blame. Elemental res. Stun chance. I don't care about the stun chance. I don't know what to go with on the Scorpion. I don't really care what to go on the Scorpion either. Ignite chance, lightning damage, fire damage. Yeah, that's trash. Physical damage, freeze rate, and health. Take the health. Now this here, I'm just interested in the Imperial Halberd, because it has a lot of forging potential, so we could try putting some stuff on it. But the problem is that I don't have any crit shards, so I can't put anything on it.
Ah, yes.
Now we can equip one of the big ones if it's worth it, but it's not really. I mean, the physical rest is good, but we are capped right now, so I don't really care. Like, necrotic is the only thing that's interesting here. Physical damage, fire damage, lightning rest. Yeah, no. And this one, this is spell physical damage. Do they always roll exactly the same? Yeah. +5 res, +5 all resistance. That's actually, like, that alone is actually pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 35 resistance on its own. Summon Frenzy Totem. Summons a totem that grants frenzy to all nearby allies. Wait, can you unlock these? Like, can you get Avalanche? I mean, it depends on how this chain works. Does this only limit you from getting these? Or does it mean you can't get this? Board? Speed running. Oh, Kisnara, thank you. I was going to ask in the Discord. Yeah. Okay, that's it. I mean, whatever. It's a little bit unfortunate though. Because otherwise... Otherwise you could have gone Shaman for Tangling Roots, for example, but... Not really. Whatever. I don't want to listen to that. Now, Writ. Yeah, we only have critical strike multiplier, and you cannot get elemental damage there. So we're just gonna have to do crit. Just gonna have to do crit. Which again, we don't have. Critical strike chance, elemental res, summon bear, elemental res, sell that, elemental res, elemental res. Okay, where is the thing? There. Idol Shrine? Idol Shrine? Is it an Idol Shrine? Reptilian minion health regen. Hang on there. That's a bug. That's a weird bug. Shrine is in the ground. I've never seen that before. No. Oh well. I bet it was an idol shrine and I didn't get it. Belt. With multiplier. I don't know if I want this, the additional targets, but dodge rating. Nah. Cause see, like instead of this, I could just get more AoE, and the area is actually kind of more boss damage too. Because it makes it easier to stick on the boss with the damage while you're moving around. What the hell do we want here? Venom Nova area. Alright. See, does that affect the Lightning Nova? Yes. The Nova seems bugged. Like the animation doesn't play properly. I think it's kind of bugged. Sometimes it just looks like that. It's just like some bark on the ground. And sometimes it looks like an actual node. Yeah, it should be bugged. It's the wrong direction, or maybe you can go both. I don't know. Oh yeah, I didn't even speak to the guy. I have to go back.
Right. I'm willing. I'll use. There should be some aqueducts up ahead. Let's meet there.
I hope the saber-toothed tiger is cool. I like this this pet ability on swipe thing, so hope that works out with that too. I mean, it should, regardless. Whatever it has, it can't be that bad. Even if it's just like a frenzy thing. Or whatever. The best would be a single target skill. Something like that. But frenzy would be good too. I bet it's gonna be something totally dogshit. When deforging potential, I don't want that. I wonder, do you stack endurance as a lich, maybe? I kind of want to try a lich build, but I don't like low life builds. They're just weird to me. But maybe you can stack endurance and health to get like really high health and then get actually good survivability. Something. But I'm really just leveling a Rip Blood Necro the side. I kind of try, if I ever play offline or when I'm not streaming, I just try to level something else so that if I do die on stream, I don't have to start from level 1. I can start from maybe level 20. Okay, what do we have here? Poison resistance. I like 3 resistances, but aspect of the shark. On kill effects of Circle of Life has a chance to trigger when you hit a rare enemy. So, we can get aspect of the shark when we hit a rare enemy. Increased melee damage by 75%? Ow. Ow. Okay. But I just have aspect of the boar. Haste on hit. That is not what I want. Endurance. You know what? I think this is a level for going back here. Let's just keep getting that and that. Alright, I usually kind of end up assuming this is the map where you have to kill a bunch of dudes to summon the boss, but that is later. Don't have to autistically go and kill everything. But we still can. Really want to. The mental rest. Right, we have a guaranteed unique. I don't know if there's anything I want. I don't know the uniques. I feel like you almost always get that on your first playthrough. Maybe they're not that rare.
Just for fun. Here I was, hoping this
Maybe there's a cool 200x that we can get. I don't know if you need to do it on a certain level. Like maybe it can give you like maybe it can gain a legendary potential if you use it on an item of a certain level. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it can never get legendary potential. Oh wait. And I still haven't been able to use legendary potential at all, so I don't really know exactly how it works. Minion damage. Nah. I don't want to pick up minion damage stuff. I do want to go over there though. There's a shrine. Stunning shrine. Again, just hoping for an idle shrine. Just because I want to build a bit of a base. Shards are good too, but the shard shrine doesn't really drop that many shards, so I don't really care that much about that, but it's still not bad. Oh wait, I thought there was like a door here. No? Okay. Two-handed spear. I was gonna say I've never seen that before, but I have. Healing Nova. That is way too much dog shit. Well, nah. On one hand, I kind of feel like we can get rid of elemental damage, but at the same time, elemental damage on rings and stuff is still gonna be good. So we still want that to be a thing. A lot of these items are regen items or armor items, and I don't feel like we are at a place where we have enough stats to be able to waste on that.
I am because from there, the heart of the citadel is beyond. There is an exit.
Before and when he fled, I saw him heading deeper into the mountains. When you find time, you could take
Now we have to artistically kill every single bird that we can find. Nice, we got a bunch of these. These are swords. Alright, can we get some crit stuff? Crit multiplier. Multiplier. Crit multiplier. Critical strike chance. So melee lightning damage. I mean, this is still good, but I kind of don't want to fuck with it. If I'm gonna add anything here, I would rather try building this up, but we still don't have any chance. We have 1 chance and we have 8 multipliers. We can try adding critical strike multipliers to it, I guess. But you know what? I think I'm gonna wait. Let's not bother. This item is good enough. So let's just chill until we find the next base. And then we put max crit on that if we can. Poison on hit, Drawl Sting. Poison melee attacks, poison damage, poison chance. So that's a Serpent Strike. Maybe Serpent Strike is like the coolest ability ever. Summon a Primal Serpent. When you strike an enemy or kill a boss. Or strike a boss or kill an enemy. Constrictor. When you use Serpent Strike, all stacks are consumed, causing the attack to deal more damage per stack. Okay, so this turns it into a cooldown. Turns it into a semi-teleport. You can turn it into a cold ability. Okay, so you can play Cold Spear. Each active stack of Maelstrom grants Serpent Strike additional chance to bleed on hit. Play a bleed build. Dot build. Summoner build. Cold build. You can still play Cold the Dot. Because you can, instead of bleed, you get frostbite. Use it as a mana builder? To some degree, not very much though. This ability, it doesn't feel that interesting, to be honest. Limited to 1 crow. Let's call this one Uniques. Uniques. Here, I'm not really even sure what I'm doing with half of these items. Let's just toss them in there. This is general trash. These gloves, I'm actually not sure if I might stick with them for quite some time. They're actually really decent for my build. But you can definitely get something better. Nah, I don't want that. One thing I think that you should do, if you're doing a system like this where you have a bunch of different kind of bases, what you should do is you should make every single base type be a specific variant, like built for something. Maybe it does more bleed, maybe it does more minion damage, whatever. I don't really think it adds any depth. The only thing it adds that there are like different types. Is it adds item difficulty, right? Like it makes it harder to make you like the items that you need, because the item pool becomes wider and it becomes harder to get the stats you need on the exact item that you need. But if you're gonna do that in the first place, you should not do it like PoE does. Like, I might be wrong, but I feel like in PoE there are a bunch of different types. And there are just so many that are useless because they're low level. There are like 3 types. Or something. And then there's this one that just does normal damage, and it's just the best one, because it just has the most damage. Unless you're doing a very specific build. I don't know if the crit axe, if that's even viable. Maybe it is. Or if it's just too low level. But if you're gonna do something like that, you should just put all the weapon types as like low level, you know, leveling types, and then just stop dropping them after that, and just drop high level versions of the same items called something else that are all just the same level, so they're all just balanced against each other. In PoE, they kind of keep scaling it up. Like, the last weapon just drops last, and it's just basically just stronger than the other weapons. I don't know. I think that's kind of shitty. Like, is there any reason to not go Tiger Hook, more or less? I don't know.
You
Like,
killed him? If we pull this off, maybe
you go Tiger Hook if you have enough accuracy, you go something else. Like, whatever is straight below Tiger Hook if you want accuracy. Those are like your sword choices in PoE. No, it has minion damage, I don't care. I don't care right now, at least. Now, necrotic is the only thing we are kind of vulnerable to, so let's be a little bit careful here. Ring of Shields, whatever. +1 to Earthquake. Fine. This is how I always end up doing it. I don't have the shards that I want, so I keep picking up the items with the stats, and then I never ever end up breaking them. Because it's really inefficient. You should just finish the story and get to grinding. It's so much easier to get the shards then. Holy shit, I thought I died. Ha! I didn't even take damage. The level up sound. So close, Panther. Got the cold damage. Do I even need the other ones? Like, is the freeze guaranteed? But what is this? We get 100% crit chance for 4 seconds. Frozen enemies take more damage. I mean, it's not bad. These two nodes are still good. And here you can get even more crit chance. But I feel like these nodes are for this. For this, like the cooldown reduction. Because 4 seconds is still not really that much. And the crit won't affect frostbite. It will affect the initial hit though. And maybe we can scale that to do good damage too. But I can't even tell how much damage it does. I'm getting a little too tired though. Could probably stop soon. My eyes can't keep focused on my health. don't know if this is a dead end or if you can go down here. Oh, this was the right way, maybe. Picking up more crit items. I do like the cooldown swipe. It's pretty nice. I don't feel like the lone scorpion though. It is whatever we're getting from the scorpion's lightning ability, I don't feel like it's really noticeable. But that might just be because there are just too many numbers here. Oy, oy, oy. How much damage does it do? It does like 400. This skill in a stun build would probably be pretty fun. Because I already stun like every single time. Oh, looks like we have City MS.
Move slowly, or your friend dies. You should have seen. Yes.
This should be easy. The only thing we have to keep track of is this guy when he does his necrotic stuff. Everything else should be whatever. But the freeze does work pretty well on
My
these
loyalty
guys.
is eternal. Now die. To die in the Emperor's presence is a gift, mortal.
See what I mean when I say that it's basically DPS to have a bigger AoE.
Mercy.
And the voice acting is so loud.
Who defied the Emperor is dead. Break yourself upon my body.
This was really smooth. And boring. This boss fight is absolutely terrible. No, Julia, you betrayed the boss. No.
He never learned.
Now is there, what do we want to start getting here? Aspect of the Viper. 100% chance to poison on hit and 100% increased damage over time. You have a higher endurance threshold and you have additional physical resistance. When you use a companion ability, you and your companions are granted Aspect of the Lynx for a duration. A buff that grants 100% increased crit strike chance. Is this going to trigger every single time I press swipe? If so, that's going to be super crazy. Just permanent uptime on the crit bonus? This is such weird design. Why are there like 100 enemies surrounding the waypoint? Waypoint should be clear. Why is it swarmed? Hello there. Stunning Shrine. I don't know if I need more AoE on the walkway. Like, it doesn't feel like it, but maybe when we're doing maps, it might be nicer, but it's already so big. If anything, I would rather have lower cooldown on it, but we'll have to do cooldown reduction on items for that, which we will. We absolutely will. But it's not that big of a priority. I just want to get Warcry down a little bit. And stop. And swipe it's a little bit too long. Just a little bit. If I could get it down like 30% or something, 20%, I think that would be good. But it's a little teeny tiny bit too long. It just doesn't feel natural. Like, all right, let's try this. It needs to hit. But it gives me two buffs now that look the same, so it might be confusing. Holy shit, you get both. Okay. Alright, so we have 100% increased crit for free now, all the time. That's interesting. I wonder what the rest of the nodes do. Because that's a free aspect right there. This build gonna be insane. Fucking block me, dude. But I generally don't expect my builds to be quote unquote insane, because I always make theme builds. And that's just not how these games generally work. However, the crit will scale. It'll scale Maelstrom as well. It'll scale Warcry. But not much. It'll scale Warcry's initial hit, but it's not really what's doing the damage on it. And I'm gonna assume my pet also gets the crit. But right now it lasts for 1 second, which is just not enough. The leaping in is a bad idea. I should have been leaping in. So then we also get free multiplier. Okay, so this node gives us increased crit chance, and it also gives us aspect of the lynx, which gives us increased crit chance. And stun chance, by the way. And this node gives us increased crit molt, and it also makes aspect of the lynx get increased crit molt. So we get double crit molt, and our pets get crit molt. And then here, aspect of the lynx gives us leech on crit, which is not as interesting. Oh, another limited to one companion thing? Okay, I'll take that. See, this... I don't really care about this myself. But if I take 1 point here, then every 5 seconds we get aspect of the shark for 3 seconds, which increases melee damage and melee attack speed, which I don't care about. But it will buff our next swipe, and it will also buff our pet when we get here. But we'll see. It depends on what exists over here too, what I want to take. But right now, this is the shit. Until we get there. No, we don't deal enough damage to steal his kills.
Submit. You are no longer worthy. Be gone from this land. My
I think we're gonna stop once we get to town here.
So be it then. Perish. Pathetic.
Pathetic.
I do not have much longer.
I need pussy.
Go north. Retrieve the lands.
Put your weapon here up. And who did he find? One here, Ice. Here, come. We have much to discuss.
And she takes me to town, right? Yep. Can see what we have here.
We don't have much luck. Perhaps it is then. You will speak they. We will all that. It is, but Raya is the larger threat. If freeing mortals is what we must do, then we must be ready.
Plus 4 bees per 10 seconds. Necrotic resistance. Bam! That is what we need. Maybe this is now high enough level. Nope, 55. Next level we might be able to cap. It depends on the roll there. Bonus movement speed. Do you have a new axe type? He does not have a new axe type.
See.
That kind of makes me wonder as well, like... If we get this much crit chance and crit multi from the tree, is that really going to be good on our weapon? But I don't... There's like nothing else I can get. I'd have to just get flat cold or flat lightning. But I still want the crit chance, for sure. But the second stat is a little bit more up in the air at the moment, I guess. I don't know if there are any other high level affixes that I can get other than crit. Because the problem was the initial idea was to just go cold, full, cold. But this skill doesn't have cold, so I have to go I have to go lightning for swipe. And Maelstrom is cold. Like, even if I go here, it's still cold. So it's a little bit mixed. But because of that, it seems we can't go elemental damage. And we can't go cold damage. And if I get any flat melee physical damage, that doesn't scale Maelstrom, and it doesn't scale doesn't scale Warcry. Crit doesn't scale Warcries. Dot and Maelstrom. It says damage over time. So, oh, maybe Maelstrom doesn't scale with crit either. But the lightning bolts do. But they also seem to be total trash. But the lightning bolt does scale with that. Oh well. We might figure it out tomorrow. I'm going to try doing programming tomorrow, but we'll see. If I manage to sleep well, then we'll probably do a programming stream tomorrow. And then we'll probably play some more Last Epoch in the evening. But that'll be it for today. Until next time, thanks for hanging. Have a good night. Bye-bye.